is q. So you have to write up to q minus 1p. No, qp. 1 to qp. All q points are generated. Right? So if x is any point in the elliptic curve, cannot I write x is equal to small x into p for some x in 1 to q? कुछ समझ पाया? देखो, if p is a generator, then p, 2p, 3p up to qp is actually this set. This set is nothing but equal to G1, meaning the elliptic curve. All points on that G1, not all points on the elliptic curve, but all points on G1, because G1 is a subset of the elliptic curve actually. We do not take all the, so that the group property is satisfied. You know, when we have a group, we can take this some subgroup of that, subset of that set also, where also the group property is satisfied. Such type of groups are called subgroups, cyclic subgroups, you know. Now, if all these points, set of all these points are G1, then take any point x on that group. Cannot I write that x is equal to small x into p? Because any point is something either 1p or 2p or 3p or 5p or something p, 1 to q. So that means for some x in 1 to q, x is x into p. That is, in general, x is equal to x into p for some x in G2. Right? Or FP. Fine. So, what is E of xy? For any input x and y, what is E of xy? This is E of small x into p, comma, small y into p. Because x can be generated from p, y can also be generated from p by multiplying suitable scalar with p. So, according to this formula, what is this? This is E pp power xy. Let us suppose xy is equal to z, some other integer. So, this is equal to E pp power z for some z in 1 to p minus 1. Ready or not? So, this is equal to E z into p comma p. Now, this z into p is also another point. So, you can write it as E z p. That means E xy is nothing but E z p for some z up another point. यहाँ तक गया दिमाग में? You take any two points x and y on the elliptic curve, that is actually nothing but E z p. That means the second output is always p for some z. With this z is actually equivalent to x and y combination. So, if I take all combinations of the points on the elliptic curve x and y, that means actually you are taking all combinations of z, z1, z2, etc., where the right hand side is always p. Is not it true? All combinations of the point, meaning I can just fix the right hand side and take all points on the elliptic curve. How many points are there? Q points are there. Right? Right? So, if I, instead of taking the points randomly, if I take sequentially, then what exactly you are taking? You are taking first EPP, then you are taking 2PP, you are taking then E3PP, up to you are taking QPP. Apply the formula. This is EPP. Now, what is EPP? Is some integer in 1 to p minus 1. Let's say that is G. Let us say that is G. Some integer. Let's say that is G. Then this is what? E2pp is what? According to the formula, this is EPP whole square. That means G square. So what is this one? Then this is GQ. So what is this one? G to the power Q. So then that means you are generating actually G square, GQ up to G to the power Q. How many points have generated? q points you have generated. From which element? Forget about these. So you have started suppose with G. Then you are doing G into G. Then you are doing G into G into G. You are applying that multiplication operator repetitively on that element G. That means you are generating actually this subgroup. Cyclic subgroup generated by G. You are generating the cyclic subgroup generated by G. What would be the size of this subgroup? What would be the size of this subgroup? Who is G? G is any arbitrary element, we don't know, any arbitrary element of that FP. And then we are repetitively applying G, G square, G cube, etc., etc. What would be the size? Now here there is a formula called Lagrange's formula. You have studied this thing. What the Lagrange's formula says? Size of the subgroup must be
One or equal number of elements.
No. Size of the subgroup. If the size of the main group is n, size of the subgroup is always a divisor of n. This is Lagrange's theorem. If the size of the main group is 6, then the size of the subgroup is either 1 or 2 or 3 or 6. Must be a divisor of factor of 6. So you take any element of that group, if the number of elements in that group is 6, then the subgroup size will be either 1, 2, 3 or 6. Correct? Now see, if the size of the group is a prime number, if the size of the group, like the size of the group here is Q. So what would be the size of the subgroup? 1 or Q. Either 1 or Q. So the subgroup, this subgroup generated either size is 1, meaning the same element is repeating all the time, or it contains exactly Q unique parts. If the size of the subgroup is Q, then it is a generator. Then this G is a generator of G2. It is generating all the points of G2. Getting point or not? So that means it will generate all the points of G2. That means this bilinear map essentially generates all the points of G2. Generates all the points of G2. However, if the size of the subgroup is 1, then it does not generate G2. This does not generate meaning degenerate. It becomes degenerative, not generative. It becomes, the bilinear map becomes degenerative. It cannot generate all the elements of G2. But we don't want such type of bilinear map. We want generative. We do not want degeneracy. That's why this property is called non-degeneracy property. We want to avoid degeneracy, meaning in other words, actually we want to generate. Simply we could have said, see, two negations we have applied. Degenerate, then non-degenerate, meaning ultimately generate. We need a bilinear map which will be generative actually. We could have said in that way, I don't know why literature says the non-degeneracy. मैंने मैं नॉन वेज खाने वाला नहीं हूं, मतलब क्या हुआ? तो सीधा कह सकते थे मैं वेज हूं, no, I am not non-veg like this. The term has been introduced in that way, non-degeneracy. Meaning we want actually generative group. So that if you want degenerative group, then the size of this subgroup must not be 1. Now in what condition the size of the subgroup can be 1? Not only for this, any subgroup when you are generating from any element, you are generating a subgroup from a group. When the size of the subgroup can be 1. Meaning suppose you have a group. You have some elements. Now you take any element, repetitively apply the operator, then you generate a subgroup, right? You take another element, repetitively apply, generate a subgroup. For different element, different sizes you are getting subgroups. When the size of the subgroup can be 1, if you take the identity element of that group, only then the subgroup size can be 1, otherwise the subgroup. Why? Because according to the definition of the group, the minimum element of the group is the identity element of the group. So identity को तो रहना ही है, उसके साथ अगर कोई दूसरा आ गया तो 2 तो हो ही गया नंबर, तो दूसरा कोई एलिमेंट कैसे रह सकता है? सो आइडेंटिटी इटसेल्फ कैन जनरेट ओनली, लाइक in multiplicative group 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 1 into 1 is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So it is saying, but we do not require this situation. So EPP must not be the identity element in G2, because EPP is G. If this G is identity element in G2, then जितना भी चाहे कर लो, G, G square, G cube, G cube, G cube, G cube, G square, so G ही आएगा बार बार. Actually these are G, 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 Q times. Only one element is getting generated if G is the identity element. We don't want such situation. So this condition must be satisfied. EPP must not be equal to the identity element in G2. This property is called non-degeneracy. So if this property is satisfied, then G is a generator of G2. Then G is a generator of G2. Because दो ही तो ऑप्शन है, अगर ये आइडेंटिटी नहीं होगा तो वो जनरेटर होगा. That means non-degeneracy, in some paper you will see in future, some papers write non-degeneracy property in this way, some papers write in this way. If P is the generator of G1, then EPP is the generator of G2. If P is the generator of G1, then EPP is the generator of G2. Both definitions are interchangeable, same. Both are called non-degeneracy property. समझिए? And the third and the last property of bilinear map is very easy. Is called computability. This function is easy. Meaning, this we have not shown the internal functioning steps of that you do not need to know also. Some scientists have invented the internal functioning of such. Abstractly we have defined the function. The body of the function has been implemented by Weil and Tate, two scientists. One is called Weil, W-E-I-L, Weil, and one is called Tate. Of which Weil is the most computer efficient algorithm. Tate is mathematical function, but in programming it is not that much efficient. Weil has been implemented. For Weil pairing, the code you do not need to write, because those are freely available in the internet. If you want to download, you can search Weil pairing, you will get the function. Function is ready, you give two points, it will give you program. So you do not need to understand the internal working, the code is readily available. You need to understand these abstract properties in order to apply this thing in your research. To use this function to develop algorithms or protocols, security algorithms or protocols. And these are the three properties. Bilinearity, which is this property, non-degeneracy, which is this one, and computability. This is easy to compute. Additionally, you remember that this function is also one-way function. What is one-way function, you know? Given fx, x, it is easy to compute fx is equal to y. Given y, it is difficult to compute x. Meaning hard to compute x is called one-way property. Now, given this PQ, EPQ, calculating EPQ is very easy. But suppose EPQ is x or g, EPQ is x. Calculating is very easy. Now suppose I am telling you what is P. P is the generator point. I am telling you what is x. You have to calculate what is x. Q is difficult. Irreversible. Manway meaning irreversible. This way you can easily calculate, that way you can. P and Q are given. P is constant point. So Q is given, you can easily calculate x. X is given, you cannot easily calculate P. Q. Got it?